Welcome back to our channel Canada Immigration. We hope you're doing great. In this video we are talking about hashtag 2 big good news for international and worker. So, to get all the information, pay attention and watch the video through to the end. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for upcoming episodes. So, without any further delay, let's jump into the video. British Columbia, Alberta and Prince Edward Island have invited candidates under their provincial nominee programs, PNPs. Getting a provincial nomination can be an advantage for candidates planning to apply for permanent resident status. This is because immigration is a shared responsibility between the federal and provincial governments. Provinces nominate candidates that the government feels will integrate easily into the provincial labor force based on attributes such as work experience, education, language ability or other human capital factors. Both the federal and provincial governments use the PNP as a valuable tool to spread the benefits of economic development throughout the country. Provincial immigration results February 25 March 3. 1. British Columbia PNP. British Columbia invited 169 total candidates in its weekly BC PNP draw. Among the candidates, 145 were invited in a targeted draw for tech occupations. This means that candidates needed a valid job offer for a position that falls under a specific National Occupation Classification (NOC) code. British Columbia has these occupations listed as priority occupations. Tech draw candidates were participants in the skilled worker or international graduate streams. Express entry candidates were also eligible. They required a minimum SIRS score of 83. The province also held rounds of invitations for candidates working in the following occupations. 18 early childhood educators and assistants, NOC 4214, with scores of at least 60 points and 6 healthcare workers from the skilled worker, international graduate, including express entry category, with scores of at least 60 points. 2. Alberta PNP. Alberta held an express entry draw on February 16 and has only recently published results. Overall, there were 100 candidates invited in the draw and the lowest CRS score accepted was 357. Alberta has been allocated 9,750 nomination certificates for 2023 by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC. Each province has a cap on the number of provincial nominations it can issue. Typically, more populous provinces such as Ontario or Alberta are issued the highest allocations. 3. Prince Edward Island PNP. Prince Edward Island invited 46 candidates under the Labour and Express Entry stream of the PAY PNP on March 2. So far, 484 candidates have received an expression of interest from PAY in 2023. The province admits the most immigrants per capita of any province in the country. According to the Canadian Real Estate Association, international immigration added 2,035 people to Prince Edward Island's population in the third quarter of 2022. This was an increase of 71.3% from the same period in 2021 and was a new record for any quarter. Second good news is how to come to Quebec as a skilled worker. Quebec has a unique status in Canada, with specific provisions and powers in place to protect its distinct culture and language. Although the Canadian Constitution states that immigration falls under both federal and provincial power, Quebec has more immigration authority than any other province. In 1968, Quebec launched its own immigration ministry. Today, Quebec, unlike the rest of Canada, has complete control over the permanent residents, study permit and work permit holders that it admits into the province. Quebec has the power to determine its own immigration targets and select candidates based on its own criteria and procedures. In addition, employers in Quebec are also subject to certain distinct procedures when hiring a foreign worker. Quebec skilled workers. A skilled worker can immigrate to Quebec through one of the following programs. 1. Quebec Skilled Worker Program, QSWP. 2. Quebec Experience Class, PEQ. The QSWP is for foreign skilled workers who wish to immigrate to Quebec. They must declare their interest in immigrating to the province by submitting an expression of interest, EOI, through an online platform called ARIMA. Candidates are scored on factors such as age, education, language skills and work experience. The Ministry of Immigration, Francisation and Integration will select top-scoring candidates from the pool and invite them to apply for permanent selection. The PEC is an option for foreign graduates and candidates with work experience in Quebec. The goal of the program is to help employers hire foreigners who have already settled and are well integrated into the province. 1. Quebec Selection Certificate. The Quebec Selection Certificate, CSQ, is administered by the Ministry of Immigration, Francisation, and Integration, and it affirms that the foreign national has been selected to settle in Quebec. With a CSQ, the candidate can apply for Canadian permanent residence to Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC. Candidates who are chosen under the QSWP and the PEC are issued a CSQ and can then apply for permanent residence. A. Temporary foreign worker options. Foreign nationals can come to Canada to work through two pathways: the Temporary Foreign Worker Program, TFWP, and the International Mobility Program, IMP. The TFWP allows Canadian employers to respond to the labor shortage needs in the country by hiring internationally, while also ensuring that Canadian citizens and permanent residents are prioritized for job openings. The IMP exists to promote Canada's economic, social, and cultural policy objectives. Not only does it help address labor market needs, but it allows foreign workers to come to Canada and strengthen ties with the global community and promote art, culture, sports and religion in Canada. The TFWP requires the completion of the Labor Market Impact Assessment, LMIA, while the IMP does not. An LMIA is a document that demonstrates that the hiring of the foreign worker will have a positive or neutral impact to the Canadian labor market. A temporary work permit and a LMIA are required before a foreign worker can begin work in Canada with a TFWP. If a Quebec employer wants to hire a foreign skilled worker on a temporary work permit, they must get a Quebec Acceptance Certificate, CAQ, in addition to an LMIA. The CAQ certifies that the Ministry of Immigration, Francisation and Integration is in accordance with the LMIA assessment that the hiring of the foreign worker will have a positive or neutral effect on the province's labor market. Jobs that are LMIA exempt do not require a CAQ. If you want to hire a foreign worker, the Quebec Immigration Ministry releases a list of occupations that are eligible for facilitated LMIA processing. The process is considered facilitated because the labor shortages are proven, allowing the Quebec employers to hire foreign workers more quickly as they do not have to demonstrate that there were no eligible Canadian workers to fill the role. The Quebec government has simplified the hiring of temporary foreign workers who have a valid CSQ, allowing them to be exempt from the requirement to apply for a LMIA. Employers can avoid the requirement for an LMIA if they are hiring a foreign worker who A. has a valid work permit, B. holds a CSQ, C. currently resides in Quebec, D. and has applied for permanent residency under the Quebec Skilled Worker Program. The foreign worker must also meet one of the following requirements. 1. Is seeking to extend the work permit for their current employer. 2. Is seeking to renew the work authorization with a new employer within Quebec. 3. Is a foreign student who has a post-graduation work permit and a validated job offer in Quebec, or 4. Is participating in a program within the International Experience Canada, IEC, program and wants to either extend the work authorization for their current employer or renew it for a new employer in Quebec. That is all we have for today in this video. So, what are your thoughts and questions? Please let us know in the comments section below. Hopefully, the video is informative to you all. Thanks for watching the entire video. See you then. In the next video. Till then, take care.